Hello everybody, welcome back to another Sean's World video. Now, the keen-eyed amongst you may well realise that it's not in fact Sean here, it's Tom. The reason for which is because Sean's visiting my sister today, and while he's away I thought I'd get cracking out here in the garden doing some of the garden chores. Spring has nearly sprung, so without further ado, let's get going. Come on. Now, before lunch I was pruning these fruit trees here, as you can see. Now's the best time of year to prune your fruit trees if you've got some growing in your garden. And I was also moving some of the branches off this pile here. Now, it might not look like much at the moment, but this is in fact where we're going to be growing our potatoes this year. Over the course of the winter months we've been putting our compost on here, so that would be potato peelings, eggshells, clippings of grass, some cow manure on there from the surrounding fields. So basically it's been functioning as a compost heap. We've added the branches across the top to hold everything in place. Now's the time of year to be doing all these chores in the garden, getting everything ready for the planting season. Now hopefully this year it will give us some great potatoes.
But before we get stuck in preparing the potato bed, first let's clear off these tree branches.
This is where we've been piling up the branches that we've been cutting off the trees. So yeah, this is a big old pile here. This is in an area of the garden that we like to keep natural, so it will serve as a good habitat for hedgehogs and that sort of thing. That job done. We needed to get it done now because soon we're going to be cutting the grass again regularly around this area, and we can't have the branches getting in the way of the lawnmower. So yeah, one down, another one to go. Now, just joking, me and Dad are going to have to do that one together. Not today. Okay, so let's go and have a look at the patio that me and Dad put down a few days ago in a previous video. See how that's getting on. Okay, so here it is. I think it's looking pretty good myself. Yep, we'll give it a few days and then we can put the fire pit, which is over there, back in its rightful position. Here is the bar that me and Dad made in our garden. It's kind of like an English pub. We've got darts, we've got a proper bar, even a drought beer tap. So yeah, at the minute it's kind of a bit of a store shed, bit of TLC, and yeah, we plan on putting a new floor down in there as well. I'm sure it's going to look good for the summer. Okay then, so now time for our next project, which is turning this pile of twigs and dirt into a fantastic potato bed. Let's get going. now we've got those pesky branches out the way, this is what's been left underneath. See, that is some great compost, some great soil. Okay, so there's still plenty of work left to be done. What I'm going to be doing next is digging this over, mixing it all around, spreading it evenly, even though it's not fully finished, decomposing and breaking down into those nutrients that the potatoes are going to absolutely love. It's still a good start. With spring around the corner as well, we do need to get cracking. So yeah, basically we need to remove some of the grass from around the edge as well. I'm going to be doing that maybe another day because yeah, it is getting to the late afternoon. But to start, I'll basically dig all of this over, and then afterwards, if we've got any around, I'll add some horse manure on top, which will break down nicely as well, as long as it's well rotted. If it's too fresh, that's not good for the plants because it can basically burn their roots. So yeah. So yeah, as I was saying, this was used for potatoes last year, and here's the remnant of one of those potatoes. Not looking very appetising now, I have to say. But yeah, we'll get some fresh ones in there before long. Goodbye. So yep, as you can see, there are some absolutely massive worms in here, which is a really good sign because they basically break everything down and turn it into lovely fertile soil. So yep, I'll put him back over here. Yeah, there are plenty of potatoes from last year, as you can see. I wouldn't eat it personally, but I suppose it is well preserved in the soil. But yeah, out with the old and in with the new. Right, let's crack on. So, as you might be able to tell, it's not all compost in here. There are some, well, it's actually turfs of grass that were basically digged out using a half moon, then shoveled out, and then put upside down. But yeah, so it will require a little bit more work than previously anticipated. Okay guys, this is looking a lot looser and less compact than it was earlier on. It's been a while since I've used a fork, but yeah, it's not an easy job. Won't be needing to go to the gym today, that's for sure. Okay, so what I think we'll do next is we'll get some horse manure, which has been well rotted, and put that over the top. That way it can have time to break down. In about a month's time, when we start planting the potatoes, this should be excellent. Yeah. So as I mentioned previously, this is just some well rotted horse manure. To us gardeners, This is black gold. Look at that. Good stuff. Just mix it all around. The more evenly it's spread now, the easier it makes it to mix up later. Let's mix that all up. Happy jubbly. So we will be making the bed larger. So using this tool here with a half moon, basically what we'll do is we'll define the edges, get rid of the turfs, and then spread this large pile basically over across and give the new area good digging over with the fork, because as you can see the soil here is basically very much clay, which makes it difficult to break down and for the basically the plant roots to establish themselves. So it does require adding fresh compost and yeah, a bit of muscle work as well. Mixed up, lumps. Go. Okay, so now we've gave it a bit of a mix up. The good news is the worms will take it from here. They'll basically continue to break everything down, mix it all up, and yeah, get a nice even soil for us. Whew, I think I need a glass of water. That's better. And before you ask, no, this isn't a beer or soda. This is actually a can of San Pellegrino sparkling water. They're not sponsoring today's video, but you know, if you want to do a brand deal, please reach out to us. I'm sure we can make that happen if any of you work at San Pellegrino. Now, all jokes aside, this is one of my favourite drinks at the moment. Anyway, enough waffling. And yeah, another thing I wanted to say on behalf of my dad and the whole family is a big thank you to everyone who does watch these videos. Thanks to your support, it makes this all possible. My family moved here when I was about 12, I think, and yeah, this channel's really allowed my dad to get cracking with the work and get it done. So yeah, I'm really happy with the work he's been doing on the cottage and everything. You know, I'm proud of him. And yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who does watch and support the videos, and an extra thank you as well to the Patreons, because that really does help. So yeah, thanks. Enough of that chit chat. I'm just going to get the seedlings that I've been growing this year. Yeah, just to basically show you how that's been going so far. Be right back. What we've got so far. So yeah, they're looking good so far. We've got some aubergines, some bell peppers, some cayenne chili peppers, some basil, and a row of tomatoes on the end. Now where we live, I believe, is hardiness zone 8 or 9. So we've had to start these seedlings inside on a heat mat by a windowsill so they get plenty of natural light. The key with these seedlings is patience. not to put them out too early. They do need to be potted on now though. I think I'll do that tomorrow. We are trying to hit 50,000 subscribers, so that would be a great birthday present for Dad this year. His birthday's in July. Hopefully we can get to 50,000 before then. That'll be a a nice achievement for him after 4 years of doing YouTube now. So yeah, that would be really great. Okay, so that's it for me. Back over to Sean.
So I'm back from my visit, and I just thought I'd check in to see what Tom's been up to. Wow, he's certainly been busy here, hasn't he? Thanks, Tom. You've really helped us out there. Okay, I've got lots of work to do still in the garden, so let's head on over here and I'll show you what I'm going to be doing next. That's the clue. Yes, you guessed it, bramble bashing. Here you go. Oh, it's always such a nice feeling to get me own back on them brambles. Yep, going to keep on top of it this year. Probably going to dig this area out, so I thought I'd cut them back so it makes it a lot easier to dig out. Some gooseberries and that mixed in with the brambles there, so I've got to do that by hand loppers just in that section there. I'll just take my time in this area. I don't want to lose my gooseberries. I've got Loganberries and a few different varieties in here, so I'm keen to transplant them to somewhere else. I'm going to dig the whole bank of this away, so I'll do away with all the brambles completely. Going to landscape this area. The shed behind you is coming down as well. Yeah, lots to do outside. Sun's out, why not? Thanks again, Tom. Bye for now. Hope you enjoyed the video.